What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and y'all are tuned in to another edition of K-Rino Radio YouTube edition, man. And this is a special one for me because this is the second in a long line of interviews I will be doing with producers, particularly producers that have worked with your big brother, man, and have blessed me with great tracks and great production, not just here now, but over the years. You know, this brother here has been established as one of the top producers to come out of the city of Houston. He's worked with a little bit of everybody, and he is a talented producer in that he can sit down and put a beat together like it's nothing, like he's making some oatmeal or something. And I've been knowing this man for years and years and years. He takes his craft very seriously. And we've actually done a project together a few years back that y'all might be familiar with if y'all rock with your big brother, called Raps and Beats. I'm glad to have my brother on, Mr. DLP. How you doing, family?
Man, I'm good, man. Can't call it. Thank you for having me, bro.
Oh, man, come on, man. We long overdue. You know how it goes down, man. For the people that don't know, let everybody know when you started producing, how long you've been producing, and what drew you in to being interested in doing production.
Well, I started, started tinkering with it back in like 95 when I met Grim and Shadow. I went to the mall and bought that Making Them Matter Worse tape.
Wow.
And I was just blown away, man. It's like, I mean, I listened to rap, a lot of rap, but it was like something about that tape, like, man, I gotta start doing beats or something, you know, start doing something with this music. So gave him a call, started hanging out with them. But really my family, dude, my mom, she's a pianist. She plays the hammer dulcimer. My dad plays French horn, clarinet, bass, drums, guitar. So it was like kind of in my family, you know?
That's cool. And it's funny because that Grim Making Them Matter Worse, that's a classic, man, in the H, man. You know, we love that. That was Grim's first release, Southeast Latin Sectors in the building. And so, and it's funny, you say when you heard the tape, you just got on the phone and called him up. So you didn't know him at the time?
I didn't know him, man. I just called him out the blue, man. It was funny. It was like, can I talk to Grim? Basically.
But you know what's crazy about that?
I think Shadow answered, actually. I think Shadow answered, and then, you know what I'm saying? That's how it, you know,
But it was funny because back in those days, you put the phone number on your project, and that's how it went down. People would just call you up, you know, it was just like calling your homeboy or something, man. DLP is with us. So your first production, what was the first production equipment that you ever got? What was the first board or whatever you started working on back in those days?
Well, Grim and Shadow let me mess with their little with their Insonic, man. With that, I think that was the ASR 10.
Okay. I
didn't really learn that too much. They had everything set up. I would just hit the keys, but I really never made it a lot on that. But I was just kind of learning. But the first one I got was a Korg X3.
Yeah. And what year was that? What year was that?
What's that?
What year was that when you got the Korg?
97, late 97.
Yeah, because it's funny, because that board, that's not a board that people were using a lot at that time. Like you said, in 97, people were still messing with the ASR. Some people still on the EPS. And I remember Dope E had the Elises, had the black and gray with the evil twin Elises. And so to hear you, what made you choose that keyboard over the ones that people were traditionally messing with during that time?
I felt like the sounds of that Korg, man, were kind of a little bit ahead of their time, bro. And everything was integrated. That's what another thing I liked about it. You didn't have to upload samples. You feel me? Like everything was just boom, 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 ready to go.
Right.
That's another thing I liked. And you could just thumb through the sounds and be like, that's how I work. I like to thumb through sounds and find, you know what I'm saying?
So,
I don't like to, you know, 70 different samples and try to find, you know, I mean, some people do.
Right. So in those days, you wasn't sampling like that heavy back in those days, just everything original?
No. Then shortly after that, I got a little mixer, little run-of-the-mill mixer, and then got a MPC 2000. I believe it was the one of the older ones, but it was just a regular 2000. and then I started sampling a little bit of record and stuff like that.
Man,
Not too much. I've never really been a sample heavy guy, but I still mess with it a little bit.
yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. You know, because a lot of there are a lot of producers that they like to just build their own. They don't really
Yeah.
get samples. But then a lot of producers that sample and they know how to manipulate the sample and make it into something all their own.
Yeah.
I understand that you had some time working behind the scenes as well in the music business, working with Big Time Records and all that. How did you get on that side of the game, and how did you link up with those guys? And what kind of work was you doing with them back in those days?
Promoting for that first Screw album, man, that 3 a.m. That was and it was the same thing with Grim and them. I just called them. They had the number on the poster.
Yeah.
I found one of the posters. I was doing some promotion for another little company, and I just hit him up. Russ, it was Russ and RIP to Eddie too, man. Eddie passed away not too long ago, but yeah, that's how I met Screw and all them too, man. But just trying to get in the game. That's how I just kind of got my feet wet, learning the insides and outs of not just the production side of the game, but also the game, you know.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro, because it shows that there was a passion to, like you say, just immerse yourself into the industry, but you was willing to do it in a way that didn't necessarily constitute getting no money. You just like, man, I just want to be in the mix and on this team. Talk about that for a second, because I don't think that's a principle that a lot of younger artists or whatever come into the game have, and they kind of feel like they just gonna automatically jump to that top spot. Talk about that from the ground up work ethic that you had to display coming in.
I mean, I figured like just anything, any job you have, you got to start off pushing a broom. And I mean, you can't be at the top, you know, right away. You got to work your way up. It's like a totem pole, like anything. Right. And I mean, just getting out there, spending my own gas money, you know, getting my own food, going all these clubs back in the day, hanging up posters, handing out flyers. I mean, it's good to know that, but those days are over. Everybody thinks that, you know, they can just sit there on the internet now and just, you know, share their flyers. I mean, yeah, that's cool, but there's other ways to do it. But it was a lot of footwork back in the day. A lot of footwork back in the day, man. But that's what I mean. My advice to anybody trying to come in the game: just learn it. Try to learn it. Do your research, because knowledge is power. Right. You don't ever come in anything you do, not just music, but anything you do. Don't ever go in blind, ever.
No question. And having the willingness to the grind from the ground up like that, you know, that's a quality that a lot of artists don't have, man. You know, and it also teaches you how to learn the game the right way, all of the details of it, being hands-on, interacting with people like that. And at the same time, you were doing your production. Who was the first artist that you produced for? And it's going to be a two-part question. Who was the first artist that you produced for, period, where you gave them, they got a track from you? And who was the first artist you produced for of note that made you say, man, I actually just gave a beat or sold a beat to this guy?
The first artist that actually like pressed something up or just...
Or anything, just first time somebody said, man, I like your beats, I want that track right there. Do you remember back that far?
Woo, man. Okay, like as far as no, I really I can say the first album that we got pressed up was probably the Fat Texas album, man.
Okay. Yeah.
So my boy Shorty, shout out to Sin too, man. But yeah, man, it had to have been probably like around that time.
Yeah, okay. And when you first produced, who was the first artist that you produced for that you was like, man, you might have been a fan of and just might have really, you know, liked their music, and you finally ended up making a track for that person? Did you have that moment, or have you had that moment?
I sold a beat to It was the Texas Boys. It was for the Texas Boys soundtrack, and they hit me up one night. It was about 2 a.m. They said, "Hey, we got Pimp C up here at the studio, man. He loves this track. Bring your ass up here."
Wow.
Skirt! I was gone.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
That was dope, man.
Yeah, yeah.
R.I.P. to Pimp.
So you got a chance to do some production on some music that Pimp C rapped on and performed on and things of that nature. Oh man, that's beautiful, man.
That's it. It's on YouTube. It's called Bitch N-Word, but you can check it out.
Right.
And
And for the record, Pimp C probably named it that, y'all. Yeah. But go ahead.
He was talking about a certain rapper on Jay-Z's roster at that time.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna say no names, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, no doubt.
They had some beef over the whole it was right around the time of the Big Pimpin' song. Okay. It was around that time. So yeah, he had a little something with a certain New York rapper.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, it is what it is. And the thing about it, just in the short time we've been talking, man, is just I don't think that people understand how immersed in the history of the Houston culture that you are, because you know, you just enlightened me that you had worked with Pimp C and worked with, have you ever worked with Screw? I know you helped work on that album, you know.
We man never got to really he never got to mess with any of my songs or nothing like that, but I mean we were like family. We were more like family. That was cool with me. You know, I was always at his house.
Right.
At that time he had a girl named Nikki, and we was always just chilling.
Right. Yeah, man.
I was young as hell back then, but I was always like family. So he you know, we were like family. It was cool, man.
Yeah, Screw. That's how Screw is. Screw, you gonna be family when he first meets you. That's the beauty of that man. But it's a wonderful thing to be able to have that experience. Talk about when you look back now, when you think about yourself right now today. Do you ever look back and say, "Man, I have really worked with a lot of people in this game and put my stamp down on this game"? And did that come across your mind at times? You just stop and reflect on that?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, but I'm just a humble dude, man. I just keep it moving, you know.
Yeah.
Stay in my lane and just do me. But yeah, man, it's been a blessing for sure, man. It's been a good sometimes it's a love-hate relationship, sometimes, but that's probably with any artist.
Right.
But you just gotta push through it.
How has the business side changed from the time you started doing production to now? I know for artists, for just rappers, it's evolved and changed a little bit, but bring us into the understanding from a production standpoint. Are there any differences now? Because I know how it is. A lot of time with producers, it's like, "Hey man, I like that beat. How much you want for it?" And it just bam, and that's it. Is it still kind of like that, or what are the differences between then and now in terms of you selling your beats and on the business end of that?
Man, back in the day, you already know about them ADATs, bro.
Yeah.
So it was track for track. And I mean, it took time, man. Like however long the song was, and if you had 16 tracks, so however long the song is times 16, that takes, man, 3 hours to dump that thing. Now, you know, so that's gonna be more money for sure. Like that Pimp C beat, I probably sold that for around almost maybe a couple grand for that track. Yeah. I remember that track took a long time to dump it though.
Right.
Now they got all this new technology, man. Like I can dump a beat in 2 minutes now. Yeah. So the game's changed a lot as far as that. And that's, I guess it's a good thing, but really can't charge as much as you used to, because that time, but that's electricity and all that too, you know.
You know, and it's funny you said that, and that's where I was going to, because everybody has a home studio now, so it kind of lightens the load on as far as studio time. But you had me laughing because I'm thinking to myself when you talk about dumping. For people who don't understand, you know, just the regular general fan, when you talk about dumping, you go into the studio with a beat, and each instrument that you hear in that track, whether it's the boom boom, whether it's the snare, the pop, the hi-hat, the bass line, whatever those things have to be ran through the system individually back in those days because you want everything separated, but then you bring it together. But you didn't get your, I know you know about, you didn't get the output expander. You got to get the, when they had the ASR back in the day.
Man, we was co-pimping, bro. We was co-pimping.
And you can run it faster if you had that output expander. But yeah, I know the business side, you know, is a lot different now, and I think it's because so many people are doing it that it brought the prices down. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know.
I just touched on that too. It did, man. Yeah.
The market got saturated, and so many people are doing production, and now, and a lot of artists, I know I was like that back in the day. A lot of artists started producing for themselves because they were like, man, I can't afford no beats. But yeah, so I know that. So is just the love of music something that drives you now, even in the times where the people might not be spending money on the tracks? I notice you on Facebook all the time, man, putting together beats on the spot, and just you don't really have a purpose for them. You just making the beat just out of the love. Is it the love driving you? More so than the business side of it?
Yeah, it's love, man, at this point.
Yeah.
I survived off music for a while, man. And a lot of people can't say that, but it, you know, not on no balling type stuff, but just getting by, paying bills at least, you know. But yeah, at this point, it's just love, man.
You know, the crazy part about it, what you just said, it's like you say you survived on music, and that's something to be proud of. You said just getting by, bro. That's something to be proud of, because everybody can't make that claim. What you just made. There are a lot of people who do it and want to reach a level where music is exclusively paying their bills, and that's what they do every day when they wake up. So to be able to do that and have done it for however amount of time, bro, that's an accomplishment. That's an accomplishment, bro. You know, and it speaks to the fact that people was rocking with you, people was messing with you, you know. Now, how would you describe your production style? If you had to just say, man, if nobody ever heard you, ever met you, and you say, yeah, by the way, I'm a producer. Okay, well, what's your style? How would you describe your production style?
Man, that's a good question, man. Never got asked that before. Not normal. It's just, it's not gonna be, you know, if that's what I usually ask people, like, okay, what if they hit me up like on Messenger or whatever, I need a beat, bro. Okay, what style, like, because I can do pretty much whatever. You know, if they want trap, I can do that, but I'll have it's my own style of trap. It ain't gonna be like that other, you know, whatever. Not to knock that, but I have my own style. Of whatever it is, because I was influenced by a lot of bands like Metallica, you know, Iron Maiden, you know, people like that. What's his name? Jimi Hendrix, Santana. I actually got to see Santana in a concert a couple years ago at the rodeo, man. That was a show right there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's just a show, man. Santana.
I can
But
imagine.
all that. That's another thing about me too. Like, I listen to so many different kinds of music. A lot of producers that I know, they listen to just rap, and so I don't even listen to the radio. So I don't want my stuff to sound like anybody else's. So I just try to I gotta listen to some of the new stuff. Like, I'll get on YouTube and check out who's doing what, because I gotta stay up with the times and keep my sounds up to date, because I'm trying to get some placements with some TV shows, man, and movies and stuff. So, but the, you know, the people that have coaching me, they're telling me, gotta keep your sounds up to date.
Right, that's right, absolutely. And that's a smart approach to have, man, in terms of like transitioning into different ways to distribute your production, not just a rapper rapping on it. Like you said, movies and commercials, and making sounds and making productions that fit certain moods that could be placed in a movie and all that, man. So that's the way to our young artists out there to think forward and to be progressive in your thinking and not just stay in one spot. We got DLP, man, super producer. What does DLP stand for, man? All these years I've been knowing you, man. What? Please tell us what that stands for.
Well, because at the time I was telling you when I met Grim and them, I was also rapping.
Yeah.
So it was the lyrical prodigy.
Oh, gotcha.
And then once I kind of hung the mic up, it was don't like people. Kind of a joke, but
yeah.
It's the lyrical prodigy, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's me rap. See, now you producing. Now it gotta be dope lit production now. So something like that. We gotta change, but that's cool because I do remember a time when you was spitting, when you was rapping and everything. So you've been basically a jack of all trades. What kind of perspective can you give to people just coming up, being that you have participated in every aspect of the business, from rapping to production to even behind the scenes working at record labels, promotion and all that? What kind of perspective would you give to a young artist that's kind of in one lane?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I know that sounds cliche, but I mean, really, just don't do it. It's just like I said, educate yourself. There's plenty of sources, out there for, you can't holler at Dame Dash and say, hey, give me the damn game, bro. But I mean, just there's a lot of different ways to establish yourself and be in the know of what's going on with the industry, because it's changing.
Definitely changing, and sometimes artists don't understand that what they start out pursuing might not be what they're the best at doing. So I know a lot of people who started out rapping and they ended up doing something else. They ended up behind the scenes. They ended up doing graphic design or whatever. They found their lane in a different way. From then to now, do you still have the same love and passion for producing now that you did then? Because sometimes, man, the business is so messed up that it actually kind of distort our passion for. Do you still have the same fire now that you did back then?
I hate to say it, but no. I hate to say this, but no.
Why not?
Like I said, it's a love-hate relationship.
Okay.
I might come in here and have an inch of dust on all my studio stuff. And then one day I come in here and just dust it all off and get to it.
Right.
But like I said, it's not at the point now where I have to do it to pay bills. It's just like we're saying, it's more of a love type thing now.
Right. I think that can be useful in a way, because you're not in a position where you forcing yourself
right
to do it. So when you do actually get to doing it, it's inspiration. It's like I was motivated and hyped up to, it's writing is like that too. Sometimes, people have this perception of me. They think that I write rhymes, write songs every single day. He must be always right. Nah, man, I might go 2 months without writing. But in that time, just like with your production, in that time that you're not doing anything, I feel like your battery is charging up. You're reloading. You're giving yourself time to miss it. And then when you miss it, you come back to it and you get it. Hey, man, we you know how it is, So that I totally understand where you're coming from on that point, man. And as far as the love-hate, did the love-hate aspect come from the business side of it, or did it develop from some other kind of way with the hate part of it? Did it come from just the business?
It may have been just a bunch of different things at one time, maybe but contributing factors to that, but yeah.
Okay. I gotta ask you a question I asked my homie Supreme Tracks when I had him on here. Name your top 5 producers of all time, just in hip hop. We'll get to other genres, but top 5 hip hop producers. If you could just sit in the room, they say you get to make one track and collab with these 5, who would the 5 be?
Number 1, Dre.
Yeah.
And the rest are in no particular order, but I've always been a fan of Dre, man, since
Forever.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
But let's see, Timberland, Ye, EA Ski
Okay.
out of Oakland, man.
Okay.
EA Ski's dope. And probably DJ Quick, man.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's a strong five. That's a strong five. And good to hear somebody mention EA Ski and give him his props, without a doubt. We mainly hear about certain names, certain mainstream producers that really, 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 but yeah, that's dope, man. Name a rap artist or any artist. Give me 3 artists that you haven't worked with that you would love to work with if you had your choice.
Ice Cube, Nas, and as far as like, I don't really like a lot of new rappers, man, but that Fabio Foreign out of New York, man.
Who is that?
Fabio Foreign?
Okay. No, I'm not familiar. I'm gonna check him out.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's like that would be my new guy.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man.
Definitely Nas and Cube, man, on the OG list.
I'm glad you mentioned a new artist. So when you sit down to work with an artist, I know you have that rare ability. Few producers have that ability, but not a lot of them have that ability to sit down next to an artist and build something organic. What does that take? What qualities does that take to sit down with an artist and y'all basically link y'all minds together and create something that's satisfactory to this artist and something that you feel? What kind of thought process goes into that when you building a track on the spot with somebody?
I'll usually ask the artist, like, let me hear the hook, let me hear a little bit of your verse, so I can get a feel for all right, what's his vibe gonna be? Is it talking about the ladies? Okay, that's gonna be a club type song or something like that. Something crunk, might do something crunk or something like trappish. It just depends on what. That's how I like to, should I put 808s on this beat or not?
Right. Just going into the mindset of an artist. I mean, I can remember the night we was working on the track. We built the track, and you had the guitar play over there, and that was that was one of the dopest tracks, man, that I had ever been a part of. And when we built that, from the mud, so there is a certain energy that exists when you build it organically, which I don't have a preference, to be honest with you, because if you build something that you made 3 months ago and I hear and it's jamming, I'm already there with you. But it is a different kind of energy that goes into that. I know people want to talk about the Raps and Beats project that we did together. I gotta give you your props because you hit me up and was like, man, let's do one together. Let's make this thing come together and put some. And the project turned out to be a dope project, although it went under the radar and is real underrated, and a lot of y'all slept on it. But
it was right for people that don't. I'm gonna cut you off, okay?
But
for people that don't know, it was right after Harvey. So that you remember that. So I mean, it is what it is, but that's Raps and Beats, aka the Harvey Project.
Yeah, you just reminded me that because I didn't.
That's why I pretty much left on, bro, because it was.
Yeah.
We had a nice turnout though at that release party, man. That was fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man, absolutely. I mean, it's a I've done collaborative albums in the past, but never did a collaborative album with a producer, and I think people really enjoyed it, and the whole concept of that to me was something that can continue on. That R&B, just it was perfect. Raps and Beats, man. So y'all make sure y'all support that project as well, man. What are you working on? Anything new you working on? Any artists you working with that you want to familiarize us with?
I'm just building up the library, man. Not really about it in particular, man. I've got a couple guys I've been working with for years and years, but just trying to maybe say hopefully soon we'll be able to continue for the part 2, man.
Right, no question. Raps and Beats Part 2, man. Y'all know it's coming. You know,
That'll be some motivation.
it's never if, it's when. You know, that's how we roll.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. Give them some social media info, DLP. Let them know how they can reach you. Let them know how they can get at you to purchase tracks where they can, you know, because and real quick, if you can remember, just for the people who watching, from my audience watching, let them know some of the songs that you produced for me. We know we did the R&B project, but there have been other ones. If you can remember them, what are some of the tracks that you've done for me that people might be familiar with, so they'll know exactly who you are?
Law Technology, The Experiment.
Wow.
I was looking at those numbers last night, bro. I was like, Lord, they ain't got a video to them.
Man, crazy. Because,
$250,000 both of those.
well, at that time, like you said, just those two that you named, man, just Flawed Technology and The Experiment, those are two songs that get mentioned to me all the time, that people love those songs, you know. So I don't know what it was about those tracks that made me go in those directions. And they actually, this is a credit to your production style, those two songs you named, they two different types of beats. You know, yeah. You know, two different types of tracks that you wouldn't particularly connect or associate with the same guy did both of these beats. Because my memory is bad, you know. So when you name those, I'm like, oh, okay, he did, you know. So two different styles, man. Speak about the value or the importance, rather, of being versatile as a producer. See, I had this thing back in the day, and I still hold this principle now. There are some producers that I could never do an entire album with, because their style is pretty much the same on every, you know that sound is, and it's no knock against them, but it's just the reality. It's like you would pick up on it and lock into that sound. Talk about being versatile and why that's important as a producer.
Longevity, for one. I mean, you can't know, but not even people that's known me for a long time. If they play 5 beats from 5 different producers, they ain't gonna say, "Oh, that's DLP right there." Maybe they might can, but because I can hide my stuff so well. Yeah. I try to anyway.
Right. No. It's very versatile, man. See, I look at production on a particular project the same way as I look at concepts and subject matter coming out of a rapper's mouth. I'm not going to talk about the exact same thing on 15 straight songs. So the production on 15 songs, it should be all over the universe as well, you know. And that's something you've always done a great job at, man. Out of the city of Houston, are there any rappers in the city of Houston that you haven't worked with that you want to work with? Give me 3 of those if you got them, that you never worked with, you that, man, just like when you got that Pimp C call, you went. Give me 3 that you would go straight to the studio with at 4 in the morning out your sleep.
Definitely Zero. Definitely Zero, man. He's actually jumped on a track that I sold to somebody else. But I haven't really got the well, there's a couple actually, but I haven't got to hear that, the final one. It was a couple years ago. But Trey's jumped on a track, but I want to work with him.
Right.
As far as that. And then the third person, I wish Chameleon was still rapping, man, because I mean, that dude there was cold, bro.
I could hear Chameleon now on some of your production too. I could hear you on that. Yeah, no doubt, man.
I guess Thugger, man.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about this is that all of these are still possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Is because all those guys are, like I say, most of those guys are still active and still working. and you definitely still active and still working. And I know the feeling. I know how you feel. You say, okay, you know, that's the beauty of being a producer though. What I'm about to say right now is that you may not directly work with a particular artist, but somehow a particular artist can land on one of your beats, just depending on the artist that you sold a beat to and who they reaching out and getting features from. You know, that still counts. I still count that. You know, I understand, of course, the thought process, because it's kind of like how the modern day is, where I can do a song with a rapper in Cali or something, and I just go record my vocals and email a file over to him. Technically, we did a song together, but we didn't technically work together. You see what I'm saying? So that's one element that's kind of been lost from the game. So technically, you've done songs with Zero, you've done songs with certain artists, but y'all just haven't worked together.
Hey, it's one of them, what had happened was situation.
Yeah, but you know, timing is everything. You know, timing is everything. In certain situations will come about. See, now, if it was like it was back in the days, like I said, where you had to kind of go and dump the song and everybody was kind of in the same room and get that energy. But I feel like, you know, the longer you stay in it, a time's gonna come where you're gonna eventually cross paths and work with those people side by side, man. You know, how relationships are formed, man. Give them your social media again. Let them know how they can get to you and get tracks and production from you.
On Facebook, man, mostly I'm on Instagram too. My Facebook, just do facebook.com/King of the Keys, KINGOFDAKEYZ. And then on Instagram, I believe it's you can check out just do Joseph_DLP lowercase and then Breer, BREAR. Y'all check me out. Site right now, the site's under construction right now that I usually have beats on, but it's under construction. But if you need any beats, you can email me at JSBreer, BREAR 281@gmail.
No doubt. Get at my man and make sure you come with your bread. Make sure you come with your bread, man, and get you some dope production. Like I say, he's done countless tracks for me. I've lost count. He's worked on the Big Seven, the 4-piece, and of course, we've done raps and beats together. We've done that one together.
By the way, my fingers still hurt from all that stuff I did on the Big Seven.
He's still in the healing process. And hold on, let me do this real quick, because you know we're not gonna do this without properly plugging. See, here we go right here. See, y'all know what it is, man. This is the Rap and Beats project that we did, and y'all sleeping on it. Y'all sleeping on it, man.
You know what, man? I really want to get that done on vinyl, bro. At least like 100 copies, bro.
Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. That would be dope, man, for sure. That's a great idea. Yeah, that would change the game. Vinyl has made a big comeback, and a lot of people are gravitating towards vinyl, even if it's only just as being a collector. You know, like I've been doing vinyl collaborations with people, and I sell vinyl to people who don't even open it. They just sign it. They want you to sign it, and they're gonna put it up somewhere. So
I got vinyl all over my walls, man. That they ain't ever gonna see a needle. Yeah. Actually, you put out that Get My Weight Up, and that's the first. Ever since I started producing, I always wanted to be able to hear my music on vinyl, and that one did see a needle, but only once.
Right.
I do have a record player.
Right.
You know, that's a beautiful thing right there. But I sealed it back up. It's back on the wall.
And that's another thing. See, that's another track. You know, but to your credit though, I was asked which song would I like to put on that vinyl when I did the collaboration. And that song, yeah, go ahead.
I said, when I saw, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Yeah, when I saw you had that, I was like, whoa, okay, yeah.
It stood out to me as a good record. Even to this day, it stood out as a good record. You know, just a grooving little record playing the clubs or whatever, you know. So that's why I was like, that's what I want. That's what I want on this vinyl, man.
It's that feel good music, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. You know, so man, my brother DLP is with us, man. We appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you're doing, and continue. You know, don't stop dropping that heat. And you know how we get down. We're gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You know we gonna work, man. DLP is in the building. Super producer, raps and beats available any way you can get music. You can get it, man. And please support my man DLP and get you some of that fire. All right, man. Thank you for coming on the show, bro. And we're gonna have to link back up again because I want to do what we talked about prior to doing this video. Where I just want to do a whole thing where we bring you on and let you make a beat live on the spot. Just make a beat right on the spot. You know. Yeah, we'll step that up for sure.
Let's set it up, man.
All right, man. Continued success, my brother, and I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
Peace and love.
Yes, sir.